Welcome to the Soulful Parenting Podcast, hosted by Ambra Redrick.
I'm back on my couch, which has become my wonderful comfy place lately. And when I am not serving as the CEO at Teen Hype, I get the privilege to sit on the couch and talk to dope parents. And today I am talking to a dope parent, a dad that I met about 5 minutes ago. So here we are, a blind podcast date, and I'm getting ready to learn more about Mike.
Yes, sir. What up, though? What's up? That's Detroit slang right there, right?
That is.
Yeah, man.
That's all.
So thank you for having me on your show. Appreciate that.
Appreciate you coming.
Yes.
Thank you. Tell me about Mike.
Man, so I'm a full-time comedian. I've been doing comedy about 18 years now.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you always know that? When did you know you were funny?
You know what? I think it was later in my latter years, like growing up as a kid. My father, I had a real strong-minded father that was in the house. Like I always had a two-parent household, but he didn't play all that. You know what I'm saying? All
That's
that.
funny.
Yeah, he trying to be the center of attention. You know what I'm saying? He pulled the belt out quick. He was kind of like a James Evans type dude. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he didn't play a lot. So I didn't realize I was funny until I was grown for the most part. I always crack jokes and my whole family funny. So we don't know who funny. We always laughing. And so later on, I ended up working at a place called Home Depot.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like the comedian there. Every time people come in, I had all the jokes, I'm talking about the security guards or, you know what I'm saying? Everything that go on there. And I ended up working with another comedian. You know what I'm saying? We merged two stores together. And so he came from his store, he was the funniest, and I came from my store into a new building. And so his people was like, "Oh man, you got to meet this dude," and then we ended up clicking. And a guy named Comedian Blackberry, and he was hosting the spot. He kept saying, "Hey man, you need to do comedy," and I was like, "Hey, I'm funny here." You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to get on stage and all that. And eventually he got fired. But he got fired for cutting somebody's hair in the break room, though. So he got fired for that, and he just kept up with me for 3 years.
Really?
And back then we ain't had the cell phones; it was a house phone. So he would call every blue moon, and I'm like, "What's up, man?" He'd be like, "Man, you ready?" I'm like, "Nah." And maybe 3 years went past, and I got fired as well.
Okay.
They said I was stealing, but anyway. He was like, "Man, you want to try it?" And I came out and watched him. I went back up the next week, you know what I'm saying? Came back out next week and wrote my set and all that stuff and went up and I ain't stopped yet. Fell in love, man. I got a standing ovation my first time ever going on stage in a hood bar called Mandy's on the east side of Detroit. Yeah.
So what I've noticed about great parents is that it usually starts at childhood. We don't know what it's like, right? Like the parents we are usually have something children's work. So tell me about the kid, Mike.
The kid, Mike. Like I said, my father was real structured, and my mother was just
Structured and strict.
structured, you ain't no sleeping past a certain amount, you know what I mean? And you can't be lazy and I was an athlete. My father's an athlete, played UCLA and all that, and so he instilled that in us and my brothers, and that's what he wanted us to do, to play ball, and so he was always just hard on us, you know what I mean? But at the same time, he was kind of loving. My mother was more the loving one, you know what I'm saying? Like my mother was the type, if you got into it with my mother, it was definitely your fault. You know what I'm saying? She was that kind of person, you know what I mean? And so it really was weird because they was kind of opposite, sort of, you know what I mean? But I think that's what balanced everything out. And yeah, so the kid Mike was, I was scared to cut. I didn't cuss till I was like 14 because I just felt like my father, if I say it, he might just pop out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so that's what it was. I always wanted to do the right thing, and I really don't have no real terrible stories because my father was so disciplined. You know what I'm saying?
Do you have siblings?
Yeah. Yep. So I have 2 sisters and a brother.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But they all younger than me. You know, my brother is like 8 years younger than me. My sister is 12, and I think the other one is 16 years
Okay.
older than me. And then my father had kids with another young lady, but I didn't find out till I was like 16, 17 that but he had 2.
Okay.
So I got an older brother. He's a year older than me, and then I got a sister that's 1 year under me.
Okay.
Yeah, but those are all for another young lady.
So you were an athlete.
Yeah, I was an athlete. That's all I knew. Like growing up, I was playing basketball and football's all city and basketball and football. I walked on to Central Michigan.
Okay.
I ended up playing with Central. I never got a chance to really play. I walked on. Coach loved me and gave me a partial scholarship.
Okay.
And right before the season started, I came back home in the neighborhood and kicking it with a few fellas, and I ended up getting hit by a car. Yeah. A drunk driver actually on our street that I grew up on. Uh, a drunk driver came by. He was driving and he hit one car and he swerved back over, and like a buddy of mine's, his car was here and my father, Bronco, they was faced each other, you know what I mean? And we stand out on the street and he hits a car down there, shoves it that way and swerves back. We were kind of like looking. And so we try and go to the sidewalk. Buddy of mine was taking all day and you know what I mean? But I ended up getting caught in between both cars. Yeah. So it kind of put a damper in. I couldn't walk like for maybe a year or so. Like, it was like super hard for me to walk and yeah, went through a lot.
So did you end up going back to college or just stayed home at
I stayed home after that. Doing that whole situation, my father shot the guy.
Okay.
So yeah. Yeah. So like by me being pinned cars, I'm yelling, fuck daddy, daddy, you know what I'm saying? And he came out and he shot the guy and he ended up going to jail. Yeah. So you got myself and then I still got my siblings. So him being in jail, I still had to make sure they got back and forth to school and you know what I'm saying? I had my grandmother and them helping them, but they was still in the house with me.
So now you like 18?
Yeah, 19, 18, 19. Yep.
19 and you are parenting how many kids? 2, 3?
Well, my 2 sisters and my brother. And eventually my sisters end up going to my grandmother's crib.
Okay.
Yeah. And then my brother kind of ended up staying with me. But yeah. So that went on for a while, man. My father, I think he did maybe 2 years though. Judge let him off. They had no witnesses and they had no real case on him.
Okay.
It was all God.
So when you so he gets back home and you, I'm assuming, meet a lady. And how did that happen? This first relationship, or maybe it's not first.
Yeah, it's a first. So I meet my ex-wife.
Okay.
I mean my ex-wife and
How old are you around me?
maybe 21 or something, 20,
Okay, yeah.
something like that. And we get kicking it and you know what I mean? And I end up having a son. I had a son, my first boy. My first boy.
The first time you have?
Yeah. Matter of fact, I still got this picture of me holding him because he was born, he was 4 pounds, 15 ounces. So he was a baby, tiny, tiny baby. So his head would sit right here and his feet would be just coming right here. You know what I mean? And I would just always hold him like that. So, but yeah, and it's weird because that's how much I weighed when I was born.
Really?
I was preemie. He was preemie too. We both were preemie. 4 pounds, 15 ounces. And I guess that's when parenthood started. You know, I was so nervous, man. Man, I was so scared and she was kind of excited and she was like, yeah. I was like, okay, yeah. Cause you gotta remember, like I grew up, like my mind was even at that point was still like, I got so many things I want to do. And I know having a kid is it's a different world. It's a different world. And like I said, I got a great father, example of a father. And then I got my mother, you know what I'm saying? So I had a two-parent home and it just I knew what it took to be a father in a sense, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And I meant to back up, like, so, and what's crazy is um, even before the accident, my mom had passed 2 years prior. Yeah, she passed 2 years prior from before the accident happened. So I watched my father raise us as a single dad, you know what I mean? So he got my sisters and my younger brother. You know, I'm older, so I pretty much was like helping him, you know what I mean? Like, with school, making sure so it kind of gave me the responsibility to learn how to navigate through that, you know what I mean?
So when you had your son, were you living, you and your girlfriend, girlfriend at
Yeah,
the time, were you
yeah.
living together?
Yeah, no, we wasn't living together.
Okay.
She was staying with her grandmother. She was staying with her grandmother, and I was staying with back at with my father. But eventually we got a crib together and, started living together and all that.
Okay.
And yeah, and then eventually I had a daughter. We had a
Years
daughter.
later.
Maybe 3 or 4 years. I think they're 4 years apart. Yeah. So I had a daughter. Oh man, it was crazy. Like I get, being a parent is weird because I don't love one more than the other, but it's just different types of love. You know what I'm saying? It's like even with now, with my boys, you know what I mean? I love them the same as I love all my daughters, but I just feel like daughters just need their father a little more. I feel like you can stand on your own, if you need me, I'm here. But daughters are like, "Oh, let me hold on me." And my wife tell me all the time, like, "You babying them," but it's my girls.
Your first love.
Yeah.
So now you got 2 kids.
Got 2 kids. Got 2 kids. I find a job, like that's when we fast forward and back to the Home Depot. Found a job at Home Depot.
Okay.
And that's where I'm kind of like cracking jokes and all that and find comedy. And in the midst of finding comedy, me and her found a divorce.
Okay.
And so she, didn't want to do it no more. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, when me personally as a parent, when I have it, my idea was for this family to stay together.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like if we gonna have kids together, like this gonna be the household.
That's what you had.
Yeah, man. And we was young. We neither one of us kind of really knew what we was doing, and she didn't want to do it no more. And in the process of that, um, I eventually moved out.
Okay.
I moved out, left her the crib and all that, and that's where they were staying. And then maybe not too long after that, she was saying that she was going to move to another state, and then she was taking the kids, and I'm like, I'm already going through this, you know what I mean? And then the kids leaving too, it just, I don't know. I'm like, God, what's up? You know what I mean? I guess if I was a kind of father that didn't really care, then it'd be something different. But I'm like, I need to see my kids every day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm not at all. I've never been a weekend dad. So some things happen and I end up she ended up, well, I don't know what happened with what she was doing in Atlanta, you know what I mean? But God ended up blessing me with having my kids. And we've been rocking ever since. My daughter at the time was 4 and my son was 9.
So essentially like a single dad.
Yeah.
Doing this?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So 4 and 9-year-old. Okay.
Man, you talking about
Did you think you
doing hair and all, like the man trying to do a little bit, yeah. Oh man, and man, come on. Yeah. Oh yeah, I did my look. No, I used to do just the little ponytail thing. Make it in there and put the little, what's the little thing with the 2 balls on it, the string. Wrap that boy around there, and they got the little 2 puffs. They be crooked a little bit, but but it worked. It worked.
I am certain she was going to school with all pride.
Oh man,
Her daddy did her hair.
man. Then one time she cut her hair. She just used my clippers. Talking about, look, Dad, look what I did. Like, ain't supposed to do that. They're gonna think I'm a terrible father. Yeah.
So tell me about some times when you felt like, you were not doing not doing your best. Some mistakes you made along the way.
Well, during the process of the divorce, trying to find my way back into, I mean, I don't know if anybody ever been through a divorce and losing your family. It's kind of, it's traumatic, you know what I'm saying? And you're trying to find like what's next. And the way it all transpired, I didn't have a house at the time. So cause when I left them, I was kind of like bouncing around, getting myself together.
Mm,
And then whatever she had going on in Atlanta, the kids had to stay with me.
okay.
And I'm like, I don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? I don't even have what we gonna do?
So you are now parenting and you don't have a house.
Yeah, I don't have a house. So I think in the car, we slept in the car probably for like maybe about a month or so on and off. You know what I mean?
Did they ask questions?
Yeah. So this is a crazy story. I remember one time, this in the very beginning of sleeping in the car. I remember we went to the park. I would take him to the park and let him run around and play. And I'm sitting in the car trying to think what's my next move. And I'm gonna tell you, a lot of this had to do with pride because I had so many people I can probably call. And I'm just sucking it up like, no, I'm gonna do it. I'm a man. I gotta do this. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes everybody need help at some point. You know what I mean? And they was sitting in the car. I mean, we was at the park, they out playing, and my daughter come back to the car, everybody tired. We go to sleep. We sleep in the park. And she wakes up in the park and she thinking we back at the park again. She like, oh my God, Dad, we at the park again. You the best dad. I'm like, she don't even know this is our crib right now. You know what I'm saying? This is where we live at. You know what I mean? This the front yard right here. So she ain't even know that, man. But that was one of the times where I was like, got to do something, man. What's the next move? And at the time, my now wife, we were dating. And
Did she know that you seen the car?
no, she didn't know. She didn't know what was going on. You know what I'm saying? Until my daughter told her. One day we over there. I introduced introduce her to the kids and all that. And my daughter's like, well, "Can I stay with you?" And she like, "Wow, what's going on?" She was like, "Cause I just don't want to sleep in the car. Let's go." And so I pulled back up, you know what I'm saying, and picked them up. And my now wife was like, "Yeah, so what's going on?" You know, I think she should stay over here, and you can go back and sleep in the car, but little girl gonna stay over here with me. And she had 3 daughters at the time, so they was all like, "Yeah, let's go." And eventually, that's how we end up moving together.
Okay.
Uh,
So was there a moment back then where you thought she was the one, or did you just glue together because you thought that was like the next step?
it was always me and her always we would be on the phone talking, and I think when I first met her, we had talked for maybe 3 months without seeing each other, just on the phone. It's like meeting your best friend. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, this is my homie, and yeah, I knew the way she treated my kids too was like this guy sent, and everything that happened just made me feel like I knew God had to play a part with this. You know what I'm saying?
How did things change when you moved in?
It didn't. It just made it more. Now we got 6 kids
Okay.
because she got 4 and I got 2, so we like the Brady Bunch. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like the Brady. And she got a nephew too from her previous marriage.
Okay.
Would always be over. You know what I'm saying? And so and I love kids. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, come on, what's up, man? It don't matter what.
Hard for you to blend the family?
It was tough. It was tough, but I think it was the blending. We got great. First of all, I'm gonna say we got great kids. You got great kids because to understand that, sometimes I might show her a little more attention than you, or to be able to share your parent is amazing. You know what I'm saying? So we got great kids, but it wasn't always easy. They fought probably the second day. You know what I'm saying? They calling us on the phone. We just got into it, and so we pulled back up. But and they still argue to this day, but they love each other like it's definitely blood.
Did they love you from day one?
Pretty much. I'm pretty kind of good with kids. You know what I'm saying? I can figure you out. We going to get the ice cream, McDonald's, let's hang. I taught all of them how to drive in a sense, like I let them, it was so yeah. Yeah, yeah, at least that's what I felt like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Ain't no telling. Well, one of them wrote a letter. I hate him. You know what I'm saying? Because I was telling them what to do or being disciplined. But well, for the most part, man, I would put work list, like, who dish day. I make this big calendar, who dish day, who got the front room, who got the dining room, who got the kitchen. And then, you know what I'm saying, they had these little things they do, like one kid do the forks and spoons, somebody got the pots, this, you know what I'm saying, somebody got the this, that, you know what I'm saying, somebody supposed to mop, because there's 6 of them. So they would all clean the kitchen together, you know what I'm saying? So if I see forks in there, who did the forks? Kyla ain't do the forks, you know what I'm saying? So
It sounds like you both brought each other's stability.
we did. It was a balance. It was what she needed and it was what I needed.
Okay. So I'm a part of that real breed that loves teenagers.
Oh,
So
yeah. Now, I'm gonna tell you, teenagers is something else. Because they think they know everything. They think they know
yeah, it's their job.
yes. I don't know nothing. I guess I never been through nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm hating on you.
So when you had teenagers in the house,
Oh
kind of
man.
things.
My wife, she don't play. She at that time, you know what I'm saying? She was a disciplinary too. Like, she was I was kind of let's go get I was the easy one. She was more strict and you know what I mean? 'Cause, like all the kids, I took them to school because they didn't want to ride with her in the morning. Get in. I said, it's time to go. Let's go. And I'm about to leave. You better, you know what I'm saying? They rather ride with me because, I ain't doing all that. Herb, let's go, whatever. And it teenage kid.
Did you have a moment in your household where um they felt like they needed to bring you receipts, where they told you guys that you weren't doing your job?
We used to do this thing called like let's talk about it.
Okay, let's talk.
Yeah, so how do you feel about each other?
Uh,
And it was crazy. It was like you would hear some one of the kids like, I just feel like such and such is just a hater. They don't want to eat it. But I wanted them to be able to express themselves. And I felt like dialogue was the best thing for any blended family.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because I want to make sure that we all on the same page. Now, are you gonna get your way? I'm not saying that.
Sure.
But I do want to hear how you feel and what you're thinking.
Full action, yeah.
Yeah.
Great thing I think teenagers rocking longer.
Be heard. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Okay. So there were moments where they said things and you were a little shocked, but you took it.
Yeah. We was a lot of shocked at some things. And then, yeah. But it all worked out and the relationship they have now is like, you never know. There's certain groups that's best friends.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like my daughter and the oldest might be the closest at this moment. And then this one might be the close. Like it's just, man, God is just amazing how he worked that. That's all it is.
Okay, so I have a couple questions about conversations with the man parent with your feelings.
Okay.
All right. Tell them about racism.
Racism. So they went to Insuroma.
Mm.
They went to Insuroma. So they know about the culture aspect from the start. When I met my wife now, that's where her kids are already going. And so I sent mine there too, and it was one of the best things I've done. You know what I'm saying? Because they learned about culture and playing what you call that?
Playing the drums?
No, yeah, you know the big thing that sit between your legs.
Mhm. Can't
But
call it
yeah. But and they learned about, you know, the whole heritage, you know what I'm saying? So they got they well knowledge
Okay.
about that, you know.
Sexuality.
Sexuality, now that's deep.
Well, what did you get out of that? Maybe it was your wife that took that off and you got the easy button.
I think my wife did more so of that.
Okay.
And now I do have a daughter that dates a girl.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And that was crazy. Because she played basketball. She played basketball, and I don't know, that whole arena is different. If you look at girls who play ball, you know, that if you got 10 girls on the team, 8 of them may be gay. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like an unsaid thing that between her and me. I knew it. I felt it. And I think she felt like I knew it, but we played like we didn't know it. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. All the way until she was out of high school. And then she came.
She go to prom?
Yeah, she went prom, but she went with a dude. And it's so weird when you look at the pictures, you like, come on. You know what I'm saying? Even the dude was looking like, I know I'm just here as just a statue. You know what I'm saying? And so she played it all the way out of prom. And she came to me and my wife and told us, you know what I'm saying? And at first I was like, you know, I didn't what I want for my daughter. You know what I'm saying? I wanted the traditional situation. And me and my wife talked and talked. And I was like, at the end of the day, man, I want her to feel safe. I want her to be able to talk. I want her to be able to come to us. And I love her beyond all of that.
Yeah.
And whatever's going to happen with that is going to be, that's her story. This is her life. I'm going to pray about it. You know what I'm saying? But this is her life.
What about the other kids in their relationships and dating?
My kids will tell you, like, you know, 'cause I got 4 girls. So just the different dudes that came around that they felt like they loved, and you know what I'm saying? It took a while for me to like any of them. You know what I'm saying? And even now, you know what I mean? Like certain things can happen, and you know, because I'm their protector. I'm the one person they call when the situation happened. And then, you know, then I become the bad guy after you know, you don't like him? No, look what you know what I'm saying? But now I can say that both of them in the good spaces. Like one of them, the second oldest daughter is married. She's got a cool husband, and they got a great relationship. She's in the ministry. The oldest daughter is dating. You know what I'm saying? She got a boyfriend, a fiance actually. And so they, you know, go through up and downs, but you know, they, you know, like any couple, you know what I'm saying? And you know, but I could tell they love each other. And then the third daughter, she's single. She's worried, but she do eyelashes and all that. You know what I'm saying? She got her business, and she just focused on her business. And then my youngest daughter is the one I told you. She got a girlfriend.
Okay.
You know?
So you're not grandparent yet?
Yeah, I got. So the oldest daughter got a daughter. I
Okay.
call her itty bitty. Yeah, she's 7 now. The second daughter has a son. I call him Sleepy Man. He's 5. And then my son, the oldest boy, has a daughter. And I call her Pebbles. Her name London, but I call her Pebbles. She's 4 or so.
And that's different.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Got three grandkids. And I just realized being a grandparent only fun for about an hour or 2. After about 5, Papa, look at this circle. Look what I can do, Papa. And then I don't like babysitting no more because my kids know how to come back and get their kids. You know what I'm saying? like you know, now I make up stuff. You ask me to babysit, I make up something like I got to do. I'm like, my son called me the other day, told me, "Hey, Dad, can you babysit?" I said, "Yeah, I would, man. But you know, I'm out here taking this engine out this car. You know what I mean? He told me, how long you gonna be? I said, probably about 3 years, man. But yeah, man, grandkids is great. I love them though, man. My wife want them over all the time. And, you know, I'll be telling her too, like, we gotta live our life. Like we raised 6 kids.
And you have an empty nest?
They all out. We got one daughter that came back.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? She had to regroup and gather herself together, but she handled it. But we don't hardly ever see her. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
Proudest moment.
proudest moment. Proudest moment. Hmm. I think just the grandparent aspect of looking at my kids and watching them deal with their kids. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's man, it just does something to my heart. You know what I mean? And entertainment wise, my proudest moment was I sold out a theater here in the city. Just being by myself, only person on the flyer. Sold out a theater called the Refer Theater. 1,500 people came out.
Have your children ever seen?
Yeah, they come to all
They
my
come.
yeah. Even the little ones, even when I first got custody of my daughter and my son, I used to take them to shows with me.
Oh.
Yeah. I used to have my son watch them stay in the car while I go on stage real quick. That was my opening joke, man. Let me hurry up, man. I left my kids in the car. So
Do you think any of them will follow your parents?
no, they all funny though. Every last one of them is hilarious. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think they all got their own businesses. Like, my oldest daughter, she does hair. The second daughter does hair. The third one, like I said, she does eyelashes and all that. And then the fourth daughter, she got a shoe cleaning business.
Okay.
Yeah, she bring any Jordans back to life or any shoes back to life. And so, yeah,
Ready for some rapid fire questions?
come on with it.
First question. Some parenting advice that you got, solicited or unsolicited. Best parenting advice you got.
Man, so my thing is, my best parent advice that I give, even with my kids, because I feel like, all three of them are great parents, but it's no perfect parent.
Mm.
And there's no handbook to this. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna mess up.
Huh?
And so even what I tell my kids, like I know I messed up on certain things. You know what I'm saying? I tried my best. And what you don't like about what I did, do it different with yours. And what you like, take it with you and apply it to yours. That's
A movie that every kid should see
every kid or a movie that
at some point. So it can be
I think
kid or
I
grown.
think Pursuit of Happiness.
Really? Oh, I be like that movie.
Because yeah, it was like he was just so determined to get to where he was trying to get to. And I remember watching that, having my kids, watching that. Like it kind of inspired me to keep going, you know what I'm saying? And to grind. So yeah, Pursuit of Happiness is one of the ones.
Very, very good one. Rituals. Do you have any rituals? I love that idea, this family meeting. Whatever place your family meeting question that you guys get to ask. Do you have any rituals?
Every last one of my kids, on taking them to school, we would pray every day. Every single day. And then it's so funny, my third daughter she was always just so shy. You know what I'm saying? She wouldn't talk too much. She was always like, you wouldn't even, if she was crying, you wouldn't even know she was crying until you look over and she like, you know what I'm saying? So, but I remember and like I said, with when I met her, her children were her last husband was a 5%er. So they come from that background. I come from a Christian background.
Sure.
And so when we blended, everybody kind of converted over here a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm every day, man. Every day when I dropped them off, I would pray. And then eventually I started letting them pray. You know what I'm saying? So and it was always in twos. So it would be the third daughter, which was Lovey, and the fourth daughter, which was Adoria. And I would say, all right, Lovey, it's your turn. Oh, dear God, bless us. That's the shy one. Just keep us. You know what I'm saying? But she would do it.
Mhm.
And that's what we do every day. Every day.
That's good. That's what's up. Thank you, Mike.
Man, thank you, man.
You have a wonderful and absolutely amazing story. Thanks again. Look forward to listening.
Man, thank you. Thank y'all.
All right. Take care.
Yep.